was, how'd you do? Just thought I'd come online just to clarify. Saturn 5 it was, not satellites, it was Saturn 5. But, yeah, the military are going to produce a StarNet thing as well. So I think the military, if they haven't already done so, can do that. But what I was going to say was, I've made a little Saturn 5, not satellite, Saturn, right? Saturn 5 rocket. And I don't know whether you noticed this the other night, but I made it from a couple of beer cans and a bog roll. And I'm still sort of making it. It was just during the lockdown, I had nothing else to do. And I didn't have anything, and I had no internet, no TV, nothing. And so I just thought, and so apologies for the tape on it, but the tape is, I've taped it up so I can paint it, do it properly marked and everything. So I'm going to put the little thing on the top there. Can you see the little thing on the top? The little spike thing? I'm going to put that on the top there. So I've taken that off so that I can do that, you see. And also, if I can just bring your attention, see the little engines? They're too big. If you actually look on the actual real thing, these here, right, they're larger, all right? And they act like covers for the engines, all right? So I'm going to have to just redo all this base part. I mean, it looks cool as it is, right? But I wanted a technically accurate model, okay? Not only something that looks really cool, because I think that looks freaking all right? But I want something that is, pretty technically accurate. And so I'm going to paint it all up and make it more technically accurate. But just for eyeballing it and just remembering nothing else, didn't have anything else to go on, it's pretty all right, So that's really the thing of it. I've made actually a number of them, and what I was thinking of possibly doing was building these possibly and selling them for a fiver a go, or maybe a tenner or something. It's just so the same sort of thing. I got to redo the engines because they're too big, right? They're too big. You could actually get away with that. It looks cool. It really does look good. I could sell it like that, but I wanted something more technically accurate. Okay, so that's really Saturn. That's what that was about. All right, so I don't want to get involved in other people's arguments. I don't know what Elon Musk is getting involved in. I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm Ian Moss, not Elon Musk. All right. Now, to some of you guys, Ian Moss and Elon Musk must sound very similar. All right. We're not the same, although I can appreciate what Elon's trying to do. I would consider Elon a two-dimensional piece of cardboard compared to me. Okay? That's nothing to say anything against the chap. He's actually done some really cool work, and I think Elon and his company are going to go on to greater and greater things. I think that he's going to do some really cool stuff. But I want my own corporation, and I don't want to be associated with Elon Musk. All right? I mean it, fellas. I'm serious. I don't want to be associated with Musk. The name's Moss. I'm very particular about my name. All right? So don't be screwing around with my name. I'll get really pissed if you start messing around with my name, dude. I mean it. Okay. So that's the thing that I wanted you guys to understand and appreciate. And like I was saying, I can't wait to return to the United States and get on with some really cool work. I know people want to keep me here in Britain, but I've got some really cool stuff I want to do in the United States, and it should be done on American soil and only on American soil. And Britain, again, I'm a little bit pissed with you because we could have done some cool work here, but you fucked up in Kendall. Then you had to scramble around for the last 4 years to bloody well make it look like everything was all right when it fucking well wasn't. You plagiarized and copied everything off me and tried to bloody well run off with it. So I'm saying, look, get Britain solid, get it stable, whatever, get it rebuilt. and then shoot off over to the United States, okay? That's where I'm from. That's my home. That's where I'm going to live. And what I'm planning on doing should only be done in the United States. But that's not to say that I can't have businesses here in Great Britain, because I can. All right? And I want to have a deal with Britain and America. Okay? So, America and Britain. So, I think, for Team Britain and America. But I just think people are being so bombastic and stubborn. So you've done it again. Stupid. There's no need to do that. There's absolutely no need to do that. If we do it, or they do it, and then you replicate what they've done, it's like you don't need to demonstrate. You don't need to tell me what's been done, because that's what you're doing. So I want you to stop doing that. And please don't take advantage of my situation, all right? It's not nice you taking advantage of my situation, okay? All right? So, if you don't mind. I think what I'm going to do, as you said, basically wait until I get to America. I can't do it here. There's people around about. The neighbours know exactly who the hell I am, and they're just taking a piss all the time. So you're just going to have to wait until I get to America. Whatever. If you like Elon Musk, go and put shares. Go and buy shares in his fucking company. All right? I'm sorry, Elon. Somebody's pissing around with me, man. By the way, great work. Love what you do. Awesome. Okay, so I just have to wait for the chaps to it was going fine, and then somebody just grabbed up. They thought I'd said I was going to say satellite, but I was actually going to say Saturn. So sat, and then and then. So autocorrection is completely fucking wrong. All right, it's just completely wrong. Now, America, I'm concentrating on a period of your history which I thought, and a lot of people think, are absolutely great. And I want a lot of young'uns to bear with us, all right? Because we're going to make America great again. I'm sorry that I'm a bit behind schedule, but I've been up to me bloody eyes here in Britain. I've been beaten up. I've been fucking, and the thing's been all over the shop. It's nightmare, all right? So appreciate your patience and just be Americans and do your thing, and you're gonna be all right. You're great. You're America, so you're no problem. But here in Britain, it's improved a great deal. Massive improvement in Great Britain. Massive, absolutely massive. The place was destroyed, and we've basically rebuilt the whole of Great Britain. And I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying it's complete, but it's good enough for the country to function. And I say praise to the British government for what they've done in managing that. So I'm very grateful to the Prime Minister and particularly to the Conservative government in helping manage that, all right? But it's up to the British people now to be sensible, all right, and to build your country and to keep going and keep on building on the work that you've done, all right? So keep building, Britain. You're coming along great. You're really coming along great. We've just relaxed the the COVID thing, and so everybody's starting to open up the businesses now. Pubs are open today, and other things. So things are starting to return to normal. I think obviously there's been a lot that people have learned over the period. But as I say, we need to continue on building on success. I noticed that seems to be a trend of that when you build and build and build, you get something good, then somebody just cuts you down or they interfere with you and smash you and mess you up. But it's like, dude, you've got to learn. You guys have got to learn. All right? It's no longer fun and games anymore. It's getting bloody, to a point where we got to do some good stuff now. All right? So let's turn. I mean, some of you may even be considering going professional or getting to certain, organisations and people, which would be a terrific help. And I think, as I say, very often governments and organisations, say we don't really need help, but they do, and they need help every fucking single day. All right, every day. All right, we don't need fucking jokers messing around with our brains and configs and screwing fucking things up for people, because there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into making fucking stuff happen, and it costs a lot of mental effort, mental energy, lives, time, money, the whole bloody shebang, man. All right, multiple great events. So please be sensible about things. Don't waste. This is really who I am, okay? And let's, as a country and as a countries, really start moving forward and making progress. All right, and returning our countries to the greatest. See, there's a lot of young kids that don't remember or can't ascertain and appreciate, how great our countries actually were, Britain and America. And I'm not trying to undermine the progress that has been made so far, because the progress that was made so far was actually started in the United States. So, people will say, "Oh well, you're gonna retire, you're finished, so you're over the." Do you know what? If you think like that, then you can dig a fucking hole 6 foot down and you can jump it fuck right in. All right. If you think it's over and done with, dig a fucking hole 6 foot deep and jump the fuck in, because it's not bloody over and it's not finished and it's not done with. Okay. So people have taken an unbelievable advantage with me, particularly, and but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, people respect money, people respect image, and it's a very, very difficult thing to do if you haven't got money. All right. But unfortunately, the gods have blessed me with some capability, and I'm still learning how to use it. So I'd appreciate a bit of professionalism and stop messing about with my brain and fucking me around, because it takes a lot for a lot of people to do a lot of work, and it can all go tits up in a fucking microsecond. All right. So let's be careful what we do. Let's be sensible, and let's keep making forward progress. And then, once things are moving forward, then maybe you can start to, have a bit of fun and stuff. I think the idea is from today onwards that people can start having fun. But those of you who are still involved in what you're dealing with, you've still got to be sensible. All right. So let's keep being sensible about things. And, because otherwise, genuinely, remember things, and it's like there's no need to like what was gone prior can be recreated. It's not a problem. Okay, we can recreate those histories and periods and stuff. It's a matter of having the will to make something happen and to recreate it. I mean, it's like well, we were following a timeline. Well, at the end of the day, I've come to understand that timeline isn't really fixed, and that nobody's really controlling it. Okay, so at the end of the day, if we want to make our countries great, let's decide to do that and focus on a period of history and make that period of history happen. I'm particularly interested in the 70s, 80s, and 90s from the United States. And I think that and also for Great Britain. See, this is the thing of it, you see. It's like people forget really how great America and Britain are, and how, they interact. As I say, there's no other country in the world that comes close to the United States. There isn't any other country on the planet that comes close to what America can do. So please, let's be sensible about things. And I know people might have gripes and whatever. You've got to work out what you've got to work out. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, we're all living on the same bloody planet, and we've got to work together to make our countries great. And it's like, okay, well, if you're going to be bitchy about it, it's stupid, because, you can't get going in your life. Well, it's like, just, don't be so bloody insistent. Okay? And using people to do your work and to talk through it, it's not very nice, that. All right? So please don't do that. Please don't strong arm my brain and work through me like that. It's not nice. Like, you stop doing that. Okay? Just don't do that. Okay? Just don't do that. Okay. And as regards the information I was going to say, was Saturn V, it should be done in America and only on America. All right. I've suggested to Britain, and I don't know what America feels about this, but if Britain could have a space program that could have the launch, like, Alan Shepard and also John Glenn style type of program, I think that would be really great for Britain, because it'd get everybody united together, and Britain was talking about a budget of £500 billion. Well, the thing is, fellas, if we can put aside 500 billion, right? Can't we just put a little bit aside just to advance ourselves? It would unify the country, get people behind a certain thing, and it would just be a flipping cool thing to do. To send out the first British astronaut, Alan Shepard style, straight up, to do an Alan Shepard, all right, and then to do a John Glenn and orbit the Earth, right? That would be a totally awesome thing for Britain to do. I'm not saying you will do it. I'm just saying it's something I think it would be cool. If you're so interested in space, why don't you do that, Britain? Yeah, I know this 5G thing we've got going. I'm all for faster and faster and faster, communications. But I don't know why America's a bit pissed off with Britain about that. I don't know whether some contracts or deals are being sort of like, But what I'd say to the United States is progress, babe, and we need the speed. All right. So if you can like do 6G. Get fucking 6G going, baby, and we'll come rocking and rolling. By the time we get, our phones will be connected at like one. What have we got? A gig, a gig would be absolutely awesome. per second. But as I say, we're all for progress, and I think Britain is looking to progress itself. And don't be jealous of Britain in a sense. It is spoiled puppy in the sense that it is a luxurious little island, and people do get jealous of Britain. I've noticed, but Britain gets a little bit hissy and pissy. And it's like, the old British, we got to rule the world, and, we're the only ones, and, we're Brits and everything. They get a bit, the way Britain does. And it's Europe yawning, going, but yeah, so it'd be great if we could progress and keep on progressing. And, I think this little island, needs to be fluffimacated. All right, I call it fluffimacated. You didn't need to do that there, dude. You jumped the pan, but there we go. You need to be fluffimacated. Now, this is where Britain needs to feel safe, solid, secure, not have our nervous system stimulated in ways that make us go, oh, Britain has got to return to having this safety and stability and this calm coolness, all right? And Britain needs to be fluffimacated. The British people love to be fluffimacated. And what do we mean by fluffimacated? Well, we're a nanny state, right? So we like to be looked after, like to be careful, right? So this is what Britain's all about. I know. But it's like, look, if the house is bloody fall down, but you've got to, right, we've got that section done, haven't we? And then we've got that section done. All right. And so, totally appreciate. I've got absolute respect and gratitude for the chaps around the world that have given so much to make things happen, especially in the Middle East, in India, Pakistan, and Russia, in China, all of you, right? Everyone. Africa, everybody has been involved. And so trying to get it just right, appreciate everybody's efforts. Really, really do. And like once we can get this little bit sorted out, it's like, okay, they're stable, they're solid. All right, what do I do? You're stable as well. How are they coming along? They're stable. Oh, okay, and you guys, you're all right, you're stable and solid? You're all right, are you? You okay? And you're stable and solid? Oh, okay, all right. And we're all working together. Okay. And like we're all this together. Okay. See, this is where you gotta be gentle, you gotta be kind. That's sort of the age of love. It's the age of love. All right, forgiveness and love. Right, and if you're talking about the age of love, it's like love as in, all things. It's not just Eros, not just the god Eros, right? Eros, how's the god Eros? Moss, Eros, Eros. How's the god Eros? So, I mean, I don't mind being Eros, like, the god of love. But I think there are other gods, but at the end of the day, the God of love, and I think this is the era of love, and we've got to have love, and we've got to forgive each other, all right? And we all got to continue on learning and understanding and appreciating, and there's so much that's been going on in the world, and all right, so I know. Discipline at the time is not joyous, don't I know? But afterwards it yields, I think, as the Bible says, peaceable results or peaceable fruits, which means that you have a good result. All right. So if you can't discipline yourself, maybe others have to discipline you. It's good to have self-discipline and to be able to discipline yourself. But the level of discipline and concentration, I think sometimes is so extreme that people find it difficult to achieve that standard, and it's very, very difficult. So appreciate what people do. Okay, viewers. Well, I just thought I'd come online and give you a quick clarification. you know it's tough being me? Do you know it's tough? Um, it's just tough. Just tough. So yeah, we've got to take into account the entire planet, and of course, I see great. Obviously, we see greatness in all the families. You know, American, the British, of course, the Europeans, Russians, everybody, everybody, India, Pakistan, Asia, everybody. You know, there's just terrific. So I'm always humbled, dude. I'm always humbled, and you know, always amazed by what people can do and what families can do. You know, managing power, making it happen. So I just want to say thank you very, very, very much to all the people involved in managing power. Those who make it, those who manage it, those who do great, amazing things with it. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm very, very humbled, and I've got a tremendous amount to learn. See, the thing is, you guys, you only have to learn your part of it, whereas I'm coming to understand I've got to learn all parts to the whole thing, and that takes a lot of time and effort and understanding, because you don't just do one part of it. You got to do all, and it's a very, very difficult thing to do that. So I'm not just learning, base layer, the heavenly layer, spatial layer, and all that. You got the whole, just one of, and you got to do the whole thing. And I suppose the idea is if you start the ground level and you work your way up, or in my instance, you start up there and you work your way down. And then you go back up again. And when you're down on the floor, you work your ass off. Crikey. What? I'm just saying, dude, it's like all the effort and the work you got to do. Right. So, no, but it's best to work. I like to work. And it's good to keep your mind occupied and active. And there's just so much. I know it's like if you do something in sigmas to the large scale, right? But of course, it's not as simple as that because there's other imposed layers on it, isn't it? So this is really just a conversation between me and them, like, or us and them, me and us and I don't know. So you see, there's that many. So it's like you've got to have that many stories in place. So it's not just having a knowledge of one family story. You've got to have knowledge of that family, that where you're at, where you're going. All of this information, it's got to be all caught. And then you got to know how to operate at all levels, be able to get in and out of all levels. And it's just a tremendous amount of work to be able to be done. It's like, I mean, even when it's just a tremendous amount of work, ladies and gentlemen. It just, it really, really is. God, so, I don't mind a little bit of mental assistance. But we need knowledge with it. You see, I think people are just going on the assumption you just need intelligence. If you just have intelligence and power, you can do well. Of course you can, but it's not sustainable because unless you've got the systems in place that are all configured with that, the thing's just going to crash and collapse, isn't it? So, I think I've got to get with systems that are much more stable and long-lasting than just your temporary, that. And that means having to learn, I think, all these different, and to learn the basics and to do it well, to do it good, right? What I've noticed, people are just intimidating. They're just making fun out of you, and they're intimidating people. And, you know, it's like, dude, that's getting really bloody tiresome now, man. And you the same old bloody fucking bullshit all the fucking time. It's just intimidation and fucking bullying and strong arming your brain and bullshit like that, keeping you in the dark, not telling you anything. It's like, dude, that's just a load of fucking shit what you're doing. Alright? You're just intimidating and fucking, well, killing me bloody brain off, which is even more of a fucking piss take. And it's like, dude, I've genuinely got to fucking learn the stuff and everything and understand and do good and everything. Do you know what? I mean, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet. And, you know, got all these different countries and all these different... It's so bloody complicated in the modern fucking world. Have you got any idea how complex all of that is? God, you know. Fuck. So if you can just show me organic a bit of respect. This is what I used to say in America. I used to say, respect me organic. Didn't I? Remember that? I used to say, respect me organic. Okay? It's like if you see me walking about, literally, just don't fuck with me bloody brain, will you? They mess me up. And it's like, okay, so even though the people are not messing up, it's like the construct can mess up and doing its thing. And so you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, just by and the construct's doing its thing, and you know, the next thing, your bloody brain's been swallowed. Just because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, you know, you got to get in the right place. And I'm not having a go at anyone. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's very, very complicated. And I genuinely want to, like, really do some good work because I really believe in planet Earth. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into this little white marble. And, you know, when the inspectors come, you know, I want the place to be spick and span and up to a certain standard. You know, they might still be quite a while off before the inspectors check us out. But I want our little planet Earth to be in the best fucking tip-top freaking top-notch beyond civilization that we can. And if it takes another 150 years or to 200 years to achieve that, we've got the time to do it. So let's get our heads together, fellas. Let's stop fucking about and let's get the planet into ship-shape order. And like there's 7.5 billion people coming on board now, so it should be a bit easier because you've got more brains to generate mind energy and all the rest of it. We've got computers that can maximize the use of that, all right? And so, you know, before the inspectors come, we can have our planet into a beautiful, highly advanced, civilized planet. And so when they come, they go, yep, that's cool, great. As opposed to, that's a sack of shit. We'll put you back on, you know, 1,000 years or 2,500 years or some stupid bullshit like that. Have a bloody war and fuck us all up. You know, so, you know, let's get ourselves into tip-top shop. Can't even talk. Tip-top shape. We'll give ourselves about 150 to 200 years, all right, to get the planet into good shape. We've got reverse aging technology coming online. We've got life elongation technology coming online. So don't worry about living 150, 200, 300 years, okay? We'll have the technology to do it. We can make it happen, all right? And, you know, I'm just saying, when the inspectors come, we want to be an advanced civilization, a fucking sub-light planet. Do you know what I mean? So let's make that happen, fellas. And you know, we've got some really cool places, and I'll still and always will believe in the United States of America. She is the darling of the world. She is the best fucking country on the planet. There is nobody that can even touch the United States. I mean, forgive me if I'm a little bit biased towards America, okay? Just forgive me for being biased towards America. But, you know, I still love the rest of the planet and Europe and the poor Russians, God, what they're going through. Oh, my goodness. And, you know, everybody, oh, God, yeah, the Latinos, we've got everybody's just doing absolutely tremendous work. Just taking t-shirts off there because I'm getting off. and let's get our planet into tip-top shape, even tip-top shape, before before the inspectors come in about 200 years from now. All right, and you think, oh, 200 years, but dude, 200 years goes over like that. All right, so we've got a tremendous amount of a lot of work to do. Let's make it happen. Let's progress the planet. Let's keep, just for like the small scale time frames, let's get our localized countries into good tip top shape and great again, and let's get rocking and rolling. Any questions? Jolly good. Right, so I'll leave the video there. I hope that's been encouraging rather than discouraging. And no, I'm just thinking, like, 200 years. No, I'm just saying, if we've got the technology to do that, I mean, if there are any, as I say, the advanced superior humans of the parts of the Milky Way galaxy interested in our development, they might in 200 years, like, really get involved with us, right? But that's 200 years from now, dude. It's 200 years away. So let's get rocking and polling, and do something really planets and solar system. Because don't forget, it's not just the planet. We've got the moon base on the go. We've got the Americans are going to the moon again. All right, which is totally superb. I was so happy to hear that America was going to the moon. It's like, oh, crikey, at last, we're finally making some progress. And, we've got that stepping stone onto Mars. And NASA got it absolutely 100% correct in deciding to go that way. All right. So we've got all these different projects all around the planet, all around the solar system. So many things to do. Let's get cracking, rocking and rolling, and enjoying our planet. Let's make it a nice place to live, a great place to enjoy life, and while we're making progress and doing work, we're enjoying our life as well. For a lot of people, I know that that's a goal which is a long way off, and I sympathize. I totally sympathize. Totally sympathize. Yeah. Okay, viewers. Well, thanks very much. Keep positive, keep optimistic, and I think having trust and faith in the systems is a good thing, right? It's a very, very good thing. And let's. I think the authorities have learned a tremendous lesson through all of this. Is that yes, you have the responsibility, and you have the power to impose absolute fucking bastard misery, absolute fucking contemptible bastard misery upon the populace, or alternatively, you can help them to be happy, productive, and, people that are enjoying their lives. Don't be bloody well coming down on the population like, you little bastards, and, don't be like that. All right, encourage and help. And all right, they've been little bastards. All right, they've been chastised. All right, they've got the picture, they've understood. They've had a book to read, they've read it. All right, better off. And so it's more encouragement, love, forgiveness, understanding, and help. So let people in power understand that, all right? That, we've got the power to... This is why I am so particular when it comes to power. I don't treat it like a triviality, all right? You've got the power to create absolute fucking bastard, abject fucking misery upon the population, or you have the ability to create happy people that are going to do some really cool stuff and just love life. All right? That's the goal, what we've got to do, fellas. So those of you who've got power and those who are in authority, think of that. All right? You have the power within yourself to cause absolute bastard fucking cunt-ass fucking bastard misery. Alternatively, you have also the power to create happy, productive people. Now, depending on the order of that, you may want to switch that around. So those of you who believe in absolute bastard sheer fucking misery, you believe in that. And those of you who believe in happy, productive people, you believe in that. I actually believe that I believe in love, and I believe in happy, productive people who enjoy life, and I want to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to my life. It's not another day of, oh, fuck. Let me tell you, there are many times, and I think there's a lot of people out there, you wake up in the morning and you think, oh, fuck, another day. It shouldn't be like that. People should be waking up thinking, oh, this is great. I've got another day of life. I've got another opportunity to experience some aspect of existence and in life that will make me go, wow, yeah, I love it. All right? And Britain, I know you're a parent, darling. But you see where I'm going with that? This is where the British royal family are absolutely superb. So you guys have a go at the British royal family, and you know who you are. You have a go at them, but they're absolutely bloody brilliant at getting the construct and our minds and our nervous system are just right. They're absolutely brilliant at doing that. All right, so I'm very, very grateful and very, very thankful for all the help and assistance that they can, and you know, for the population, for the people, because the higher intelligence they go, the more mind, the more you start to see systems as a whole. So you start seeing countries and peoples as an entire system, right? You care for it, you know. And the thing is, it's like you get thrust into greatness. It's like, oh crap, what do we do? Like, you guys have only probably got to learn like one layer. All right, now, it seems as if some of you are learning many layers, multiple layers, which is totally commendable. I mean, just absolutely totally commendable. And of course, through not competition, but through cooperation, I think there will be a natural sifting of people. See, Darwin said it was competition. It's not. It's cooperation. Darwin got it wrong. He got it the opposite sense. It's cooperation. If you look at nature, nature actually cooperates. It's not competition. Even when a lion is ripping the guts out of a gazelle or something, it's actually cooperation, not competition. So, saying that, everybody has a part to play in this world, in this life. And I'm not saying that there is an overall design or thrust. See, people talk about, oh, God's got a. Well, I suppose he does. And I suppose we do. But there's nothing to stop people from trying different things along the way, because really the whole thing is open. And it's a situation of, well, let's see what we can achieve. Let's not be restricted, right? Let's just see what we can do, given the capability we have, given all the access to materials and stuff. Let's see what we can do. I had fuck all, a couple of beer cans and a bog roll. All right, and I produced a fairly decent replication of the Saturn V rocket. That sort of makes the point. I got the point totally. All right, during lockdown, you got fuck all. What can you do? Well, of course, that principle I've used throughout my life. And like, if my brain wasn't being reprogrammed and pummeled and fucked up, I would be naturally sort of creating new knowledge and studying. So there's existing knowledge to make or to study, and there's new knowledge to make. Of course, the Earth is making new knowledge all of the time. All right, it's making new knowledge all the time. Um, it's just that I was in a position of very fortunate greatness and a kind of being a unique person in the history of the world, and I was able to do what I could do in the United States, and as a consequence, revolutionized everything. It's as simple as that. Um, so apart from that sort of superior, brilliant knowledge that just advances the planet in massive way. See, that's the type of genius I was interested in, dude. Glory or greatness, as I called it. So I called genius greatness. All right. So that the level of greatness that I was interested in was the type of greatness that would advance the planet, like Newton's level and Galileo and Einstein. The fact that they would revolutionize the planet's view of some aspect of the greatness of all things. All right, that level of greatness, and I think I've actually achieved that. Yeah, achieved that. And so, but what happened here in Britain was that it got screwed up, messed up, and of course we had to it was all back together again. Um, I'm grateful to Great Britain. I'm very grateful. But there's existing knowledge that I need to learn, and there's new knowledge that I need to make. And I think we need to be knowledge creators. And I think the world gets that message. It gets that message. We've got to be knowledge creators. But we've got to do something about, I was going to say something. Who comes up with the knowledge first? See, that was an example of it right there. Right? Who comes up with the knowledge first? It's going to be us. That's going to be, and people are fighting it, and it's like this effort to trying to find out where the thought originated from. Are you fucking taking the piss, pal? We create knowledge. You put it in the public domain. You get signed off in it, and so forth and so on. And we have a system designed to, you can fight and argue till they're blue in the bloody face. But like I'm saying, are you taking the piss? Yeah, you say that, but you don't know if there's some space on planet Earth where a thought could materialize and it actually started over there, and then somehow it ended up interacting with such and such, and then the very front particle, if you like, got interacted with it, and somebody at the front had a thought, and I suppose it goes some way to managing. You observed me, Ted, in my grandma's kitchen. Grandma's kitchen, the room next to the kitchen, Ted. And thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you. And so that's the thing of it, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got to get over this point of I came up with it, you didn't, I didn't, and trying to steal and thought. We've just got to get over that. It's stupid now. It's childish. All right. You've got to get more mature and adult about things. And like if you have that argument about I came up with first, and you suppress and you strong arm people's brains, how the hell can you possibly turn around and say if you came up with it first? If that's what you're doing. You most obviously, correct, most certainly and obviously did not come up with it. So you most certainly and obviously did not come up with it. And so that's why we have a system. It's designed to get through all of that clutter and all that stupidity, and to get some sort of law and order and sensibility. All right? Because look what happens to you guys when you don't have the system involved. What happens? You become a squabbling, frightened, fighting, brawling, bloody mass of assholes. All right? That's what you've become. And looking at YouTube and everything, that's what happens. So we need the system to impose a level of civility, discipline, order, and so forth and so on. All right? And this is where it takes people in positions of power, quite right, to not subject to corruption, and they've got to be playing with a straight bat and doing the right thing. All right, this is where this is where Britain was so respected, because Britain was like, oh, Britain is, we expect a certain level of standard from Britain. We've got a financial system here, but it was like, yeah, we can trust Britain with our money. We can trust Britain, you see? So, and I know as you sort of go larger and larger in international politics, and it gets more and more difficult and sludgy and whatnot, but you get the general point, dude, all right? And if you're strong-arming people and you're bullying them, and you're copying the thoughts and then saying, haha, we came up with it first, you most obviously certainly did not come up with it first, did you? I want to reiterate this point, because I'm so fucking sick and tired of you little fuckaroos playing that stupid bloody game on me. And it's like, okay, fair enough, people probably have to go through the stupid bloody game. It is a stupid bloody game, and they go beyond that and become more mature, alright? But until that point, they're little sods. Tap him on the head. So that's the system. That's the way it is. So we're very grateful to the government of Great Britain. I want to thank the British government. I can only praise the government. I'm awfully sorry about the number of gaffes that we had and fucking stupidities and whatnot. And it's like, oh shit. It's like, are you taking a piss? I think I might. I'm awfully sorry there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so still having difficulties with it. It's like, it's so difficult being human, isn't it? It's so So yeah, I'm very, very grateful. I'm really done with poverty. And if Great Uncle Bulgaria is listening, I'm ready to go to the next level. $1 million, and let's get rocking and rolling. I could work with people. We could make things happen. Because money is a very, very important thing. Oh yeah, in the world, money is so very important. Oh yes. It is actually possible. Now let me tell you this. In the United States, it is actually possible to live on very little or no money. It is possible, and people have done it. But it's not really in the spirit of capitalism, and it's not something you really want to rely on or live your life by, although some people do. Ignore all images, please, thank you. So this is what people can do. They can live, and I've lived in the United States, and I realize and understand that America is structured in such a way that you can actually do that. It's more difficult here in Britain. Not to say that it can't be done, but it's more difficult in Britain. So yes, you can live with no money, but it's actually quite difficult thing to do here in Great Britain. But you can do it in different parts of the world. I myself personally like money. It's a very necessary thing to have. And also, it would be a complete disrespect to capitalism if one tried to live one's life without money. So I want to be wealthy. I want to have lots and lots of money. I want to become a very, 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 very wealthy man. I want my own corporation. I want to be able to make all sorts of stuff. You know, Rockefeller, he came from absolute poverty. I mean, if you've ever read the history of J.D. Rockefeller, you realize that he came from a very, very, very poor background. I mean, extremely poor. And then, of course, what he did, he got a job, and then he started to save some money, and then he went into partnership with somebody, and he got into business, and he started to make more and more money, and, of course, he became Standard Oil, and that became one of the most successful and wealthiest corporations of basically, you know, since goodness knows whenever. And in today's standards, he'd be as well up with like Microsoft or, you know, some other large-scale corporation. I mean, he was tremendously successful, Standard Oil. In fact, I think people said it was even much, much larger than Google or, you know, Microsoft or Apple or someone. So it can be done. Okay, it can be done. And I would love to work with people. And I think the people side of it are the best part. I think getting to know the people and working with your business heroes and everything, and you know, not just being all starry-eyed, but actually, you know, working intelligently with people to resolve problems and do great work for the planet Earth. You know, and I think when you get to that sort of level, that sort of scale, that's exactly what you're doing. You're producing solutions for the planet. And, you know, it's kind of silly talking like this here in buttfuck bloody Blackpool, Great Britain. But you've got to realise, Blackpool, that there are people in this world who do have that sort of inclination and outlook and view of life and the world. And there are people in the world that do have that life. Okay? And people might actually know this individual, known as Ian Anthony, and those people are of that caliber. So, you know, it's no. See the way you just downed on me there? You see the way you just downed on me? They keep on downing on me all the time, and you know, it's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. And as I say, if I'm not interested in fighting, I'm interested in making love. So, you know, I'm talking about the age of love. So I want, you know, more sex, more beautiful sex, more pornography in the world, more beautiful pornography, not just this hate porn. See, I've noticed there's a lot of hate porn on the internet. It's like people just banging the hell out of each other. It's like, what the shagging hell is that? You're just banging the living shit out of each other. You know, and then, oh, you've got your little signs and symbols, and you whistle here and whistle there, and then it's like, fuck off with all that shit, pal. That's not the way you do it. It's like, okay, you might make it like in that, but if you want to do a business which is glamorous, you've got to have glamour to it. You can't just be banging the living shit out of it. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, why don't you just give him a club? There you go, dickweed. Have a fucking club and smack the living shit out of her while you're at it. You know, 2-foot fucking dick fella banging the living shit out of it with a fucking club. Go on, dickhead. Bang, bang. You know, what sort? That's not bloody love. You're teaching the world something wrong. All right? So what I want to do to bring into the world again, this love, this intimacy, this beautiful sort of interrelationship between men and women. I know there's a lot of lesbos and homos or it seems as if the people that make you guys, or they seem as if they're banging it. I mean, am I right or wrong about that? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong about that, right? I think it's people who hate those guys that are sort of like, just banging at it. I mean, people have got to live their lives because of the construct and the way they are. All right. It's like, okay, sometimes, they might decide to make their life for themselves and that. Well, you've done a lot of bloody talking, right, for the last God knows how many fucking years. Well, I'm doing some talking now, so you shut the fuck up and you will listen to me. Thank you. Write that in all languages and send it across the planet. And if you don't like it, well, DEFCON 1 you. Yeah, you won't like my nuclear weapon, dude. I know what you mean by your nuclear weapon. A 24-foot fucking dick up your ass. Yeah, well, why would you like a fucking nuclear weapon up your ass? Yeah. Alright then. 24 inches. It's like, Anyway, I don't want to get into the imagery of that. So that's not the okay. So listen. So there we go. So that's the thing about. I want more glamour in the relationship with people. I want more loving. So more beautiful. And there was a period of time where you have this genteelness between men and women, as opposed to just banging the living crap out of each other. And women going round like clobhoppers, the return of femininity to womankind. But of course, the strength that you girls have demonstrated is very, very, I think, very appreciated by the masculinity. The strength that you give has been absolutely appreciated. And I think it's like, this is like aspect of like your woman is like your mom, but it's your girl and it's your sex partner. It's like there's a complicated sort of interrelationship between psychologies there when you look at your woman, right? So there's a very complicated stuff going on there. And so sometimes, your girl is your mom. She can be your mom. And she's like, because girls are mothers. Girls are naturally mothers. So there's this aspect of, the loving, natural, motherly instinct towards a family, which is very, very important. So you've got all of that interconnecting and twined together. If you look at it from a purely, but you say that, dude, but military family is, you think they'd be all, but it's like, what? Military family come home and shooting bullets at each other. It's like, what was that then? It's like, I want to come home from work. It's like I want to shoot it. So I got my shooter out. Doing. So we have this shoot house in the kitchen. Doing. Apologies to the reality if that actually happens. We'll just change that into like throwing peas at each other. Okay, so if you're gonna, as opposed to gun, you're gonna actually use peas. So if you're gonna throw anything at each other, you gotta throw peas at each other. Okay, throw peas. Hey, haven't got any peas. Oh, there's a knife. For God's sake, love, don't throw that. Okay, so, all right, so, and so love and femininity and just this beautiful thing between men and women. The relationship between men and women is such a loving thing, such a beautiful thing. And I think the world just needs to remember that we need to bring this femininity and this beautiful relationship between man and woman again. Right? We're going to return to that. All right? And I think there's a tremendous scope for improvements in remembering how to do that. Because I think the planet Earth has been so much stress, and people are just, you can just based on observation, nothing more than observation. And I think this is where it behooves the authorities. This is why I was saying before, I was praising the authorities, because they know what the score is. I mean, people have a go at our British police, right? But I noticed something earlier on today where they made a comment about something, and it's like, it just goes to show the police are not bloody stupid. And it's like, they know the people, they know how they're going to react. I thought that was so hilarious. It's like, they know you. Like, they know us. The police layer knows us. They know how we're going to react. They know what we're going to say. You know, which is terribly comforting, I think. Because it's almost like, God, they're shepherding us. You know, it's like they've got knowledge of us. They've got knowledge of how we're going to react, which I think is a totally beautiful thing. So, forgive me because it's like, if I make gaffes and stuff, but it's like I've got this intuitive nature of but when it comes to the actual mechanics of it, it's like I'm still learning, all right? But I've got this intuitive nature with things. And so, anyway, I just want to thank everybody, as I say, and I think I appreciate everybody's work. And I say, sometimes, you know, it looks like you don't appreciate people's work and everything, but of course, we really do. And I've got to learn well, this is where, as I say, I don't want to regurgitate this point, but it behooves the authorities to make the system in such a way that people are able to live their lives, find fulfillment and happiness, but also to do what the power layer needs. See, this is where people are starting to understand what's going on. It's like, okay, but I've not seen many people been like frustrated and bloody lockdown. You know, it's see, flashing images. Sorry about that, but I've not seen many people do that because I think they've had an understanding as to what's what. Whereas prior to this, I think the British public might have been moaning and whinging and, you know, but they've got an idea as to what's going on now with respect to the power layer. And I think, you know, and as a result of that, I think that the authorities hopefully have had the pressure a little bit released from them. Because, of course, you know, ladies and gentlemen, the people in authority, they're still people. It's like, I've got absolute praise for the politicians now. I didn't realise before what an absolutely difficult bloody job being a politician is. I mean, Theresa, if you look at Theresa May on some of those videos, she was struggling to talk and battling the powers to keep it stable. And if I would say, if there was any prime minister in the history of the world that demonstrates what a prime minister is, it's Theresa May. She did this is why I can't understand those fellas giving us such a hard time. It's like, you know, she's struggling, you know, she's fighting at the power, and she's doing a job. She's basically doing a job, and it's very, very, very difficult thing to do. And you know, so very much more appreciative of politicians and the work that politicians do. You know, very, very appreciative of that. And to say, prior to that, I just thought, like everybody else, politicians, they're bloody crazy, and, you know, just blame the politicians, they're always corrupt and fucking, you know. But they got a really tough thing to do, and they got to make the social compact, right? They got to make the social compact, which basically means our brains have all got to sort of work together, and the system's got to be worked together, and the whole structure's got to work together, you know, things have got to be integrated and connected so that things work. And I think that's why the politicians have such a difficult job, because they've got to make sense of all of that and got to make it sense for the majority. This is why I say, once the government comes to its solution, you're 99% sure that is the correct solution. because the government doesn't mess about, and it's got tremendous resources that it can call upon to get the solution. So when they make the social compact or they make these decisions, you can rest assured that it's more than likely the best thing, the best solution. But of course, I suppose it's dependent upon how the social compact is made. So depending on the thinking patterns and all the rest of it, the social compact will form, and that social compact will result in systems that will be developed and put into the public domain, or that systems will evolve and be put into the public domain. And so the quality of the systems that are put into the public domain, the systems that are put into operation that are supposed to help us through our life, they are really a product of really the quality of the decisions and the compact that results. Okay, so it is a very, very complicated thing. And as I say, very great respect for the politicians. I'm awfully sorry for any gaps and troubles and difficulties that we've had along the way. It is a terribly difficult job to do, and very much respect to the politicians. So I'm very grateful to the British government. I'd like to thank them very much indeed. And I'd like to thank the American government as well. Also, when I was in America, looking at the American government, I think probably the American government is probably one of the best governments on the planet. I mean, just amazing respect for the American government. It's like, wow. And like, I mean, this is why I can't understand these people just having a bash at the government. It just seems to be like, oh, the favourite thing is just to have a bash at the bloody government. It's the first, but at the end of the day, you realise how complicated that is and how many people they've got to accommodate. And it's like, okay, but I suppose at the end of the day, isn't it? So, we'll take notice of a demonstration and that will then feed into the collective thing to enable us to make the social compact for the next iteration. And systems that get deployed will take all of that into account. Right? So, very difficult job to do. And, we've got so many amazing people on the planet. As I say, fellas, I'm just humbled. This is why I can't understand why you just keep bullying me and like, belittling and just being nasty to us and I just don't understand why you're like that, because I've got tremendous respect. So, I don't know, maybe somebody's replicated me and they're going off, misrepresenting me and making me look to be a total twazik when in reality I'm really kind of understanding and so forth and so on. So, so is there anything else that I want to say? Well, let me just clarify that I did ask for love. So that's right. And people say, oh, if you came to God, what would you want? Well, of course, love is very important, and wisdom. Genius, knowledge, greatness, so that you can manage it. Justice, so that you can sort of weigh things up and to manage the power. But there are people that do all of that. There are people that manage it all. So I think for me, myself, it's just to have freedom and to have the talent and abilities and the gift of mind and heart to be able to create and make things happen. And lots of love and affection to our fellow humans. People of so lots of love, lots of affection and forgiveness. All the best, Britain. Keep plodding. All the best, babe. See you soon.